This is probably the most autistic video I'm going to ever make on this channel, which is really saying a lot because only 2 years ago, I made a video about scoreboards. So, flags of the world, right? Especially in the world of football, we have probably a better knowledge than the average person. That could either be, through watching the games themselves or playing FIFA. FIFA Ultimate Team made that very easy. But I'm here to tell you that I am better than every single one of you because I have been like this since I was 8 years old, before I even watched this game. Actually, it was because of flags that I started watching this sport. You see, it all started when wee little Maxwell was just 7 years old, and he had this World Atlas book from 2008. Do not mention a single thing about when you were born in the comments, I swear to fucking God. And see, for some reason, little old Maxwell just saw these flags, and he just saw the colors and how they were all color-coded, and that just, for some reason, did something to his brain. He never had to memorize any of these flags or whatnot. He was just so obsessed with them to the point that I don't have proof of this. I don't have picture proof of this. You just gotta take my word here. But he would make cutouts of every single flag. And when I actually did get into the sport of football, after the World Cup in 2010, I made a World Cup version of Monopoly, and it was only because I was obsessed with all these flags. I'm not kidding. I don't have any picture proof. You just gotta take my word here. But I'm getting off topic here. Here's how we're going to do things with this video. We're going to go through every single match as if it was like a normal predictions video, but instead of predicting it based off of the quality of the actual teams themselves and the players, we're going to base it off how good the flag looks. And to not run into the problem of the third place rankings having the same amount of points and same amount of goal difference and whatnot, we have a little bit of a score system that I hope works. So since we're doing this matchup by matchup, if a flag fully clears out its opponents, it'll get a 2-0 win. If it just narrowly beats out their opposing flag, it's a 1-0 win. So hopefully that fixes the whole goal difference issue. Also, you might be wondering, but Maxwell, what about the flags of the UEFA qualifier playoffs? We don't have those determined yet. Oh, we will. We're gonna do it right now. All right, so we're gonna kick this off by going straight through the UEFA playoffs. We're not even gonna go through like the semis or the finals. We're just gonna pick one out of the 4 out of each path. So with path A, we have Wales, Bosnia, Italy, and Northern Ireland. And with this one, it's so easily clear. The Welsh, welcome to World Cup 2026. I mean, just look at this flag. You're telling me this is gonna lose to any of these peasants? Come on now. Into path B now, we have Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania. This is a clear sweep for Albania. Glory to Albania, you are going to the World Cup. Into path C, it gets a little bit more difficult because we have Slovenia, Kosovo, Turkey, and Romania. For me, it's either between Turkey or Kosovo. Honestly, I'm looking at both these flags of aura, all right? Both of these flags of aura, but I think Kosovo just narrowly edges out. So Kosovo, you only just joined FIFA in 2015, but welcome to World Cup 2026, baby. And finally, with the UEFA playoffs, we have Czechia, Ireland, Denmark, and North Macedonia. And for me personally, I love when a flag is just the entire sun, basically. One of my favorite flags is, I think, like the Phoenix flag from the United States. So in this case, welcome North Macedonia, you've made it to World Cup 2026. We got New Caledonia, Jamaica, DR Congo. For me, it's gotta be Jamaica. The color combination, just mwah, chef's kiss. Like, DR Congo, not a bad flag either, but Jamaica, just look at it. It's beautiful. It's got aura. Now, into path 2, we have Bolivia, Suriname, Iraq. I'm not a big fan of, any of these flags, man. Let me do some double checking real quick here. I'm gonna have to give it to Bolivia here. I think that emblem really does it for them. It's beautiful to look at. So Bolivia, Jamaica, welcome back to the World Cup. Now that that's out of the way, we can go on to the World Cup itself. And we start with Group, which I would say is kind of a bit of a group of death when it comes to flags. Because we got South Korea, Mexico, South Africa, and North Macedonia. So again, we're gonna do this match by match, and we're gonna start with Mexico versus South Africa. With this one, it's pretty close, honestly. Mexico, you only have like the green, white, red, seems pretty simple, but then you just have that beautiful emblem. I mean, that's what really makes it for him. But then you also got South Africa. There's so many different colors happening here, and yet somehow it works. And it looks really cool. This one's gonna be difficult, but I think Mexico just edges out South Africa. So congratulations to Mexico. I'm gonna say this is the first 1-0 result. Next, you got South Korea versus North Macedonia. Again, I think this is a really tight one. Both of them have some fantastic looking flags, but I think South Korea just narrowly edges past North Macedonia. So I'm going to give South Korea the 1-0 win here. Into match day 2, we got North Macedonia versus South Africa. And I'm going to give North Macedonia a 2-0 win here. I think it does kind of clear South Africa's flag. Mexico, South Korea. Ooh. I think for this one, it's a close battle, and I'm going to give it to South Korea. So South Korea gets 2 wins going into the last match day. All right, so quickly, going into the last match day, this is what the group looks like. Currently, South Korea is leading the group with 6 points. They're pretty much into the next round. Then North Macedonia just edges Mexico due to goal difference. They're in second, which means they still have a chance to advance to the knockouts, but we won't know until way later on. And then we got 4th place South Africa, which they've just been unlucky to be drawn into this group because they have a really nice flag. It's just that everyone else's is just that little bit better. All right, into match day 3, and this is a really big one because it determines who finishes second. It's North Macedonia versus Mexico. This one is also very tough because North Macedonia, like I said, I love the sun. I love it so much, but Mexico's emblem, I mean, look at it. It's so fucking hard. In this case, we might have to do the first ever tie. That's right. I have created a completely new rule now. You can have ties, and this will be the first one. We're going to go with a 1-1 result between the two here. Finally, to end off Group A, we got the Battle of the Souths. South Africa, South Korea. Which one's it gonna be? This is a pretty close battle, I'd say, but South Korea, once again, just narrowly edge past their opponents and win 1-0. So here's what Group A looks after all the matches are done. We got South Korea, perfect 9 of 9 points. 5 points behind them is North Macedonia, who just make it into the runners-up spots, while Mexico, they're still alive for now. Into Group B now, or as I like to call it, the group of shades of red. We got Canada, Qatar, Switzerland, and then Wales. And right off the bat, we got a battle between Canada and Wales. Who's gonna win this one? I'm sorry, the Welsh flag just clears everything. It's a 2-0 win for them. The Dragon may be unstoppable, I can't lie, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Next, we have Switzerland versus Qatar. Here's one thing that I should probably say. Qatar's flag looks awful. I hate it. This is the easiest 2-0 result for Switzerland. Now, match day 2, Switzerland versus Wales. Some iconic figures we got here. We have the cross, the square flag. You got some uniqueness there. But then you got even more uniqueness with the Welsh flag, the dragon. I'm sorry, I mean, just look at it. Look how hard this goes. I'm sorry, but again, it's the Wales with a 2-0 win here. Next up, we got the maple leaf versus some fucking zigzags. Give me the maple leaf, 2-0. So this went pretty fast, but now going into the last match day for Group B, this is what the table looks like. Wales clearing everybody with 6 points, a 4+ goal difference. Meanwhile, you got Canada and Switzerland tied on literally everything, and they're going to play each other going into this next match day. And then there's Qatar. I've already said enough there. You know, just to add some more suspense, we're going to skip Switzerland versus Canada and go right to Wales versus Qatar. Now, if I could break the rules, I would give Wales like a 10-0 win. But in this case, we're going to keep it, you know, standard 2-0 win. Now it comes down to Switzerland versus Canada. Who's going to finish runners-up? I am going to go with the iconic maple leaf just narrowly beating the Swiss here. So after all that, the Welsh win Group B very easily. Canada finished runners-up and move on to the knockouts for the first time in their history. And Switzerland, they're still alive for now. Into Group C now, we have Brazil, Haiti, Morocco, Scotland. And right off the bat, we got Brazil versus Morocco for match day 1. I think Brazil takes this 1-0. Next, we got Haiti versus Scotland, and I'm not being biased here, okay? Because look at Haiti's flag. It just looks like when you look up on Google Images some image, you download it, it's supposed to be transparent, but then you put it in Photoshop, and there's a white background. I'm sorry, but I'm taking Scotland for this one, 2-0. Scotland versus Morocco. It all depends on preference here. Do you like the star? Do you like the cross? Oh, I like my extra shit. You got the star, or you got the cross. You have the star, or you have the cross. I'm gonna give this one a tie. 1-1. Brazil versus Haiti. I think one thing I should probably mention about Haiti, because I was hating a little too much, get it? The actual emblem itself within the white background looks really cool, but I can't get over that white background. So again, Brazil 2-0. With one more match for each team remaining in Group C, currently Brazil holds the lead, 2-point lead behind Scotland. These two play each other in the next match, and Morocco will very much need Brazil to beat Scotland because that's the only way they're gonna have a chance to make the runners-up spots. All right, so match day 3, Morocco versus Haiti. I'm sorry, Haitians, like, you know, nothing against you guys. I love you all, but Morocco, the flag just looks a lot better. 2-0 result here. And then it comes down to Brazil versus Scotland. Yeah, Brazil's got this 2-0 down early. And just like that, everything fucking changes. On the final day, because of Scotland's loss to Brazil, Morocco snatch away second place from them, and they will move on as runners-up, while Brazil, as you see, dominated. They will move on as winners of this group. On to Group D now. We got Australia, Paraguay, the USA, and finally Kosovo. I'm gonna be real, like most of these flags I don't really fuck with. First match day, we got the USA versus Paraguay, and it's time that I admit something to you guys. I don't really fuck with the American flag. Listen, in terms of the aesthetic of the American flag, it's just too much is going on here. 50 stars, 13 stripes. Sure, there's a lot of representation there. You take the representation out, it's too much. But I have always said that the USA flag is at most like a D tier. So all of that said, 1-0 to Paraguay. Australia versus Kosovo. Australia, you know, I have a soft spot for the flag. But Kosovo, I mean, just look at it. Having your own landmass with a bunch of stars, it's like having a club badge with all those Champions League stars. Give Kosovo a 2-0. Next up, Kosovo versus Paraguay. I think it might be a Kosovo sweep we're about to see because I'm giving them another 2-0 result. Now it's either Australia or the USA. Can I just make them both lose? The one thing I'll give Australia, you know, despite the Union Jack there, I do like the stars just a little bit more than the American one. I will give Australia the 1-0. And it's a very measly 1-0. This is like a 0.5 at best. All right, so after 2 games in Group D, we have Kosovo winning the group. Meanwhile, it's just the battle of the mid and the worst. To be honest, I don't really care who goes through, but we're gonna have to decide that pretty soon. First, we'll start with the most obvious, Kosovo versus the United States, 2-0 Kosovo. Paraguay versus Australia. Let me quickly add a disclaimer, by the way, before I piss off any more people throughout the rest of this video. How I determine what flag is better is not based on anything besides the color and the aesthetic, all right? Let's get that clear. I think in this case, though, Paraguay will be moving on as runners-up. 1-0 win to them. Now with that all over, Kosovo win Group D with Paraguay finishing runners-up. Australia are still alive, but that -2 goal difference, you know, it's not looking good. Meanwhile, the United States become the first and only host nation as of right now to not make it to the knockouts. On to Group E, we have some pretty nice flags here. The Ivory Coast, Curacao, Ecuador, and Germany. It feels like a group for really anyone. Nice color combinations, or do you like emblems, or do you just like stars? Some nice aesthetics just touched in there as well. You got everything. Would I say this is the group of death? Potentially. We're gonna start with Germany versus Curacao. Oh my god, this is gonna be so tough. On one hand, you got Germany with one of my favorite color combinations in terms of flags. But then you got the underdogs, Curacao. They don't have much going with their flag, but it still looks really fucking cool. What am I gonna say for this one? I'm gonna have to go with a strong 1-1 draw here. Now we have Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. And if you've ever seen the Ecuadorian emblem up close, it looks ridiculous. So we're giving Ecuador a 2-0 win here. Now on to Ecuador versus Curacao. I'm gonna give Ecuador a narrow 1-0 win here. Now Germany versus Ivory Coast. I'll give it a 2-0 win to Germany on this one. So with one match remaining, Ecuador currently lead Group E. 2 points behind them is Germany. These two will actually play each other, by the way, so whoever wins that will win the group. Third place is being held by Curacao right now. Their last game is against Ivory Coast. Spoiler alert, they're gonna have a better goal difference. But don't get me wrong about Ivory Coast. It's still a clean flag. They may have 0 points, but it's really just because they've been thrown into a group of death. Anyways, I already told you guys Curacao would beat Ivory Coast. I think in this case, it's gonna be a 1-0 win. And then you got Ecuador versus Germany. Ecuador just beat Germany on this one. I think the emblem just has that much aura. So at the end of Group E, Ecuador 3 of 3 wins, 9 points. They win the group. Then you got Germany, who finished as the runners-up, and just tied with them is Curacao, who have a better chance than most of the nations with that 0 goal difference. They also have 4 points, so they should be good going into the next round. On to Group F, we have honestly a bunch of really mid flags. I'm really sorry to my editor for that comment. I'm really sorry to my editor for that comment. But then, outside all of that mid, it's like Spain in their group with Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde. You got Albania. And Albania's flag fucks. Yeah, that just looks so fucking sick. The double eagle, man. Like, so fucking cool. But first, we start with match day 1, the Netherlands versus Japan. Whoever wins this one takes custody of Indonesia. Here we have horizontal red, white, and blue, and then a dot. That's it. I don't even know what to say for this one. Again, I kind of just want both of them to lose. My editor's gonna kill me after this one. I'm gonna go with, can I just do 0-0 draws? I feel like, okay, new rule. If both of the flags are really unimpressive, you can also throw out a 0-0 draw. In this case, that's what we're gonna give them. All right, now Albania versus Tunisia. Tunisia's flag is just that little bit better than the other ones, but Albania, I mean, the double-headed eagle, again, it just fucks. Very much a 2-0 result to start the campaign for the Albanians. Japan versus Tunisia. You got the dot versus the dot with a crescent and the star. So in this case, this goes to Tunisia. 1-0. The Netherlands versus Albania. Coughing baby versus nuclear bomb. Albania, 100%. Sorry, I keep forgetting to say a score. 2-0. If we could break the rules, 100-0. Tunisia versus the Netherlands. Again, Tunisia just has a little bit more to their aesthetic, so we're giving Tunisia a 1-0 win. Japan versus Albania. Child who is a literal vegetable versus massive double-headed eagle. We're giving this one a 2-0 to Albania as well. All right, thank God that's over. It was pretty much just Albania and then the battle of the, like, below mediocre. Albania win the group easily with 9 points, a +6 goal difference. Tunisia also move on for the first time in their history. And then you got Japan and the Netherlands, who are both tied on literally everything. I don't exactly know how any of this is determined. I don't really care. They're both the bottom 2, so let's just move on. Next, we got Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. I'm not entirely sure who's gonna win this one right now. All right, first, Belgium versus Egypt. Egypt, I think, beats them 1-0. Belgium's color combination I just like a lot, but Egypt's emblem, I mean, it's a golden eagle. Love it. Iran versus New Zealand. I'm gonna give this one to Iran. I do like what they did with their stripes. It's not as standard as like the other 3 block flags. There's something going on, you know, you see it. Editor, just zoom into the pattern part that I'm talking about. For this one, I'll give Iran a 1-0 result. New Zealand versus Egypt, Egypt 2-0. Belgium versus Iran. They're around the same level, honestly. I'll give this like a 1-all. All right, so after 2 games, Egypt currently lead the group with 6 points, 2 wins. Then you have Iran right behind them in second with 4 points. Belgium, 3 points behind them in that 3rd place spot. Again, we've seen things change up a lot on the final day, so let's just get right into it. First, New Zealand versus Belgium. I am going to say Belgium 1-0. And then we got Egypt versus Iran. Egypt win this one just narrowly 1-0. So that is enough to see the Egyptians win the group with all 9 points. Then Belgium just get past Iran, just skip over them, so they will advance as runners-up. And then Iran with 4 points, they have a pretty strong campaign to make it into the knockouts. Group H now, we have Cape Verde, Spain, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. all of these flags have their own qualities, so this is going to be super interesting. So to kick off this group, we have Spain versus Cape Verde. I think both of these are honestly at the same level. I'm going to give this a 1-all. Then you got Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. Uruguay, again, like I said about the USA flag, it's not as bad as the USA flag, but again, I'm just not a big fan of that type of aesthetic. We're going to go Saudi Arabia 2-0. Uruguay versus Cape Verde. Cape Verde just has a way cleaner flag. I'm giving them the 2-0. And then you got Spain versus Saudi Arabia. I would say one of the heavyweight battles here. Saudi Arabia will win this one 1-0. And with that, Saudi Arabia has a 2-point lead at the top going into their last game. Cape Verde have 4 points. Spain is just right behind them. Their last game is against Uruguay, while Cape Verde still have to play Saudi Arabia. So really, anything's still up for grabs here. We'll start with Uruguay versus Spain, and I'm so sorry, Uruguayans, but I just think Spain has a cleaner flag. I'm gonna give them a 1-0. And then you got the battle of simplicity, really, right? You got two really clean flags. One has the sword and some writing, another has some stripes and some stars. Really all depends on, preference. With this battle though, I think it's the colors that decide this one. There's more with Cape Verde. I'm really calling myself out here in terms of how my brain works. Anyways, Cape Verde 1-0. And with that result, Cape Verde take the lead in the group and win it all, moving on to the knockouts, while Saudi Arabia advance as runners-up. Meanwhile, Spain get 4 points in the group. They finish third. We'll have to see if they advance later on. Group I we go into next. No, this is not the Holland versus Mbappe group anymore. This is just the, I have no idea what to name this one. But we got France, we got Norway, and then we have flags with the same colors in Senegal and Bolivia. And we start with France versus Senegal. And I think Senegal's colors, the star also in the middle, just edges past the French 1-0. Then you got Bolivia with their emblem versus Norway with that Scandinavian cross. In this case, I just like Norway's colors better, so I'm giving them the 1-0. Next, we have a matchup that just has way too much green, yellow, and red. Like, way too much. Senegal versus Bolivia. This is a very close one, but I think Bolivia wins this just because the emblem is better than the star. Norway versus France. Don't get me wrong, I like France's flag quite a bit. I think the color combination, the dark blue especially, I'm a big fan of dark blue, great. But Norway, it just does it way better. I mean, it's literally the same colors. 2-0 to Norway. So, with 2 games played, Norway currently hold the lead with 6 points, and then 3 points behind them is both Senegal and Bolivia, tied on quite literally everything. So it really comes down to who can score more points, not really goals in this case. So first matchday 3 game, Bolivia versus France. I think this one's a draw, honestly. Then it's Senegal versus Norway. It all comes down to this. Can Senegal pull the upset? Is their flag better than Norway? Because if it isn't, they're gonna finish third in the group. And I'm sorry, Senegalese people, but that Norway flag, it just does something to my brain. I'm gonna have to give this one to the Norwegians, 1-0. So, with Group I done and over with, we have Norway advancing as winners of this group, and then there's Bolivia making their appearance in the knockouts with 4 points, and Senegal still have a chance in that 3rd place position. Group J now, Algeria, Argentina, Austria, Jordan, like, I don't know, man, that's, like, they're okay, they're all okay, I don't know. Argentina versus Algeria, it all kind of comes down to preference. Do you like the sun? Do you like the crescent and the star? I think Algeria wins this one just narrowly 1-0, just because I like their colors more. Jordan versus Austria. I hate it a lot on the Netherlands flag. It's very much the same way with Austria. It's even worse, actually. It's just red and white. Like a sandwich, I guess, you know? Jordan, on the other hand, color, and a decent bit of it. We're giving that a 2-0 to Jordan. Next, Jordan versus Algeria. I'm going to give this one again to Jordan. I'm starting to actually grow more on Jordan. 2-0 here. Argentina versus Austria. The battle of the sandwiches. And one has a sun, so we're going to give it to that one. 1-0. So before we go into the last match day, Jordan hold the lead in the group with 6 points, and then you got Algeria and Argentina tied on points, and because we're doing this by head-to-head, Algeria have the advantage currently. Jordan versus Argentina. 2-0 to Jordan. Algeria versus Austria. Flashbacks of 1982, but Algeria take this one 2-0. So in the end, Group J is won by the country that starts with a J, Jordan. Algeria advance as runners-up with 6 points, and Argentina will finish third, and their 3 points with a -2 goal difference will not be enough to advance. So the reigning champions are officially out of this World Cup. Group K, we have Colombia, Jamaica, Portugal, and Uzbekistan. I feel like this is really anyone's group. There's a lot of qualities from each and every single one of these flags, but we start with Portugal versus Jamaica. I'm gonna go with a 1-0 win to Jamaica. Again, this is a very close one. Portugal's emblem is just beautiful to look at, but Jamaica as a whole, as that whole flag, it just beats them. Next, Uzbekistan versus Colombia. And Colombia, iconic colors. They're absolutely beautiful. The Uzbekistan colors, though, they're really nice too. This is gonna be a 1-1 draw. Next, Colombia versus Jamaica. I mean, when you think of two iconic colors, iconic flags, Colombia, Jamaica, that's a heavyweight battle. This early into the round, oh man. I think Jamaica just edges past them though. Uzbekistan versus Portugal. Again, I'm kind of seeing a draw here because I do like the Uzbek colors, but the Portuguese emblem, I just, you know what, actually, this is gonna be the upset. Uzbekistan win this one 1-0. And so going into the last matches of Group K, it is currently Jamaica holding the lead with 6 points, and Uzbekistan is just right behind them. Then you got Colombia, who absolutely need to win their next game if they want to have a chance to advance. And it's gonna be a tough one because their last match is against Portugal. Colombia, Portugal. This one's also very difficult, but I'm gonna have to say it goes back to the colors. Colombia wins this one 1-0. And then it's Jamaica versus Uzbekistan, and this is a clear win for Jamaica, honestly, 2-0. And with Uzbekistan losing 2-0 to Jamaica, Colombia snatch away the runners-up spot on the final day. Meanwhile, this is the only time you will ever hear this in any kind of universe. Jamaica win this World Cup group. And finally, we have Group L, Croatia, England, Ghana, and Panama. You got a lot of history here. You got a lot of aesthetics here. Let's see what it comes down to. First, we have England versus Croatia. 2-0 win to Croatia. Next, we got the Battle of the Stars. Ghana with their 1 black star, and Panama with 1 blue, 1 red star. I'm gonna give this one to Panama. It just looks a little bit cooler. 1-0. Panama versus Croatia now. The battle of the red, white, and blue. There's a lot of those. But with this, I am giving it to Panama again. 1-0. Now, England versus Ghana. Yeah, this is the clearest 2-0 win for Ghana. So as it stands in Group L, Panama currently hold the lead with 6 points. They've won both of their games. Croatia and Ghana sit behind them, tied on points. Ghana, though, are currently sitting in third, but as things stand, they would make it to the knockouts. Into match day 3 now, it is Panama versus England, 2-0 Panama. And then you got Croatia versus Ghana. And I think Ghana narrowly edges past them just because I like the color combination more. 1-0. So with our last group done, it is Panama winning it all, then it's Ghana finishing in second after beating Croatia. Croatia sit in third. They just narrowly make it to the playoffs thanks to their goal difference. And then there's England, and yes, I know I am very much always against this country in every single one of my videos. Again, this is based on aesthetics, so this has nothing to do with any biases. That said, the aesthetic sucks.
That is one big pile of shit.
Now that we're finally done with the groups, it took me an hour and a half to do this, by the way, so I'm really not looking forward to making the predictions video, like the actual one later on. But as I said, there's a lot of third place teams that will make it into the knockouts. Let's go ahead and look at the ones that did. So at the top as the best third place team was Scotland from Group C. After them was Mexico from Group A, Curacao finishing third in Group E, and then you have the rest of them in Iran, Spain, Uzbekistan, Croatia, and finally Switzerland. Meanwhile, Senegal, Australia, Argentina, and Japan all miss out.
Look at you. Look at the nasty things that you have become. Look how small you are, how worthless you are. You are wretched, rotten little beast.
So I had to wait about like 20 minutes to charge my camera battery because I forgot to charge another one while this was recording. But that said, I've been waiting in anticipation to do the knockout stages. I haven't been this excited to record a video in quite some time. So we start with Ecuador versus Scotland. Scores don't really matter anymore, but we're just gonna do it to continue, I guess, the pattern. Scotland just advanced as the best third place team, but I still think Ecuador edges them out here. It'll be a 1-0 win. Next, we got Norway versus Spain. Norway takes this one. Next, we have a very interesting knockout stage match. North Macedonia versus Canada. Anyways, I think North Macedonia's flag is just a little bit better. We are absolutely flying through these. Thank God, the group stages took so long. Morocco versus Albania. Albania wins this one, clearly. Next, we got Colombia versus Ghana, and this one's tough. They're both really nice flags, but I think this one goes to Ghana. I don't know why I'm saying I think, because it's literally just my, decision. Nothing else determines this besides me. So let's try that again. It will be Ghana. All right, next one. Cape Verde versus Algeria. This one also a little tough. Both are some very clean flags. It really just comes down to preference in terms of the colors. You get that the white and green half with the red crescent and star. Looks great. Cape Verde though, you get the horizontal stripe, the stars. I think that one is better. The next match throws us back to UEFA qualifiers in Group B. Switzerland, Kosovo. And Kosovo win this one. Egypt versus Mexico. Really, this one's just the battle of the emblems. Which one looks harder? Mexico. Onto the other side of the bracket. Brazil versus Tunisia. Easily Brazil. Next, we got Germany versus Bolivia. I'm taking Germany on this one. The fuck? This is hard. South Korea versus Curacao. Ooh, I did not want to see this matchup because they're both really nice flags. I'm gonna have to give this one to South Korea though. Panama versus Uzbekistan. This one's tough. I think this would be another one that would, I guess, go to extra time and penalties. I'm gonna go with Uzbekistan on this one. Saudi Arabia versus Jordan. I'm taking Jordan on this one. Paraguay versus Belgium. I'm sorry, Paraguayans. It's the end of the road for you. Belgium's moving on to the next round. Next match, we got Iran versus Wales. The battle of the green, white, and red. The dragon, man. The dragon is just overpowered. Wales move on. And finally, to end off this round, we have Jamaica versus Croatia. Jamaica also advance. Now we are on to the next round. We have Ecuador versus Norway. Oh, I am going to take... I'm going to look back. I'm going to look at Ecuador's flag again. After further discussion with Google Images, I have decided to go with Ecuador on this one. North Macedonia versus Albania. Oh boy. The sun or the double-headed eagle? Which one are we going with? We're going Albania again, baby. We're seeing yet another Africa versus Africa matchup. Ghana versus Cape Verde. I'm taking Ghana with this one. Kosovo versus Mexico. Again, this one is tough. Let me analyze. I need to analyze. I need to have further discussions with Google Images. Give me 1 second. After even more discussion with Google Images, I've decided to go with Mexico. I did not want to see Kosovo fall this soon, but it's the end of the road. Congratulations, Mexico. Our next matchup, heavyweights in football, and I would say even the same with flags. Brazil versus Germany. I'm going Brazil with this one. Next, we have an all-Asia battle between South Korea and Uzbekistan. Who am I going to go with? I think South Korea has the better aesthetics on this one. So it is South Korea advancing to the next round. Jordan versus Belgium. And I am going to go with Jordan. They will be moving on to the quarterfinals. Next, we have Wales versus Jamaica. Again, it's just like seeing Brazil and Argentina early into the knockouts. This pains me. These are both fantastic flags, and only one gets to move on to the quarterfinals. It's gotta be Wales. And now we are into the quarterfinals, and we start with Ecuador versus Albania. It just gets so much harder, man. Oh, I'm gonna break my brain. Ecuador, very colorful, has that magnificent looking emblem. But then there's Albania, simple, clean, the hardest looking double eagle you've ever seen in your entire life. Which one's it gonna be? Which one's it gonna be? I'm gonna have to go with Albania again. Albania's moving to the semis, baby. Mexico versus Ghana for a quarterfinal matchup. This is kind of mid. Mexico. Next quarterfinal matchup, Brazil versus South Korea. The battle of the circles. Again, this one's tough. Oh, which one will it be? Brain, think brain. This is horrible. As someone with ADHD, like being the most indecisive human being in the world, this is horrible. These flags, they're great, they're fantastic. Thinking about food, it's the same way. Is it KBBQ or Brazilian barbecue? Which one? But I will have to go with South Korea by the narrowest of margins. And now it comes down to who will face South Korea in the semifinals. Will it be Jordan or will it be Wales? And I'm sorry, but the dragon is just too fucking overpowered. Wales move on to the semifinals. So, who is gonna move on to the final? Our first semifinal has Albania versus Mexico. Which one has more aura? The eagle or the double-headed eagle? We're going to the finals. The double eagle is going to the finals. All right, so who is going to meet Albania in the final? Will it be South Korea or will it be Wales? It's gonna be Wales, baby. We're gonna have Wales and Albania in this final. But first, before we do so, we have a Group A rematch between Mexico and South Korea. When it comes to flags, which one has the better one? Actually, I'm not sure. I was about to say Mexico, but hold on a second. Both have different, unique aesthetics. Koreans, Mexicans, whichever way this goes, continue to have your friendship. I'm seeing, like, the most intense extra time battle. And then it will be prevailing with a game winner in the 121st minute. South Korea. And now, ironically enough, it is the two teams that haven't even qualified, actually, in the final. It is Wales. It is Albania. Who wins the flag battle? We got Albania, but we also got Wales. These are two incredible looking flags. Are they the best looking flags in the world? No, but still, they're in the final. We gotta pick one. Which one will it be? Which one will it be? Wales. I'm having a very difficult time trying to figure out which one it will be. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do here? This was the worst video idea ever. I'm gonna be here for like 3 hours. All right. I've made my decision. Albania has won the Flag World Cup. Albania has won the Flag World Cup. God damn it. Albania, I mean, that double eagle just looks incredible, has the most aura. As someone who is a fan of flags with multiple different colors, the simple one that prevails. Congratulations, Albania. If this means literally anything to you, you have won the Flag World Cup.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
Oh my God, that was an abomination. That was awful.
My ass is actually sore. My ass is actually sore.
And so that was the most autistic video I have ever made in my entire life. I have probably offended everyone with this video, but remember, this is only based on aesthetics, right? And aesthetics, it's subjective. That said, I have the most correct opinion. But that all said, who would you have picked to win the Flag World Cup? Let me know. And of course, a massive shout out to all our members, including Janos Balas, Jeremy Sayu 7, Jeremiah Owusu Ajimang, Django, Anazir Makalankam, Alex Rod, Kentra Agatra, Saint Terran, Sylvia Citrus, Cheesebait, Winder Gel, Finn Likes Rugby More, Davox, The Portergeyser, Wise Orange, Polar Protos, Fun Fan, A Ghostly Owl, Coney Wolves, Lickstab, Mutanai, Apollo, Thrilling ADT13, Los Milos, LeJames Braun, Vecino, Napside, Money Cash Hose, Quantavious Pork, Lilia Lovers, Stewed Monk, Red Yellow, Fuxi, MX San, Harry Maguire's Left Toenail, Flaquito, Thierry's Thoughts, Kev C, Dominic Griffin, Kyler Krebs, Mohammed Altanib, Niche, Patrick Barley, Rashford God 5, Raspberry Ale, and Unbroken Persona. If you'd like to become a member on the channel, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you want, follow my Instagram if you like, follow my Twitch. Now that the video essay is done, I'll probably be able to do at least 1 or 2 more streams. But until then, I'll see you guys. Now let me tell you something. This is the best flag in the world.